Hi, this is Craig with Angler's Edge Mapping. I'm just doing a quick little screen capture video here highlighting some multi-screen functionality of the HDS12, streaming the video to an iPad for screen capture purposes. And one of the things that's really cool about this video is I'm using the Livesight transducer. This is just the second or third time on the water for me with this transducer. I should say open water. I used it throughout the winter and it totally changed how I crappie fished and also how I walleye fished on Lake Winnipeg. The ability to scan around the boat and look for fish up to 100 feet away quite reliably for larger fish over softer bottom is game changing. So just wanted to show you a little bit here and to clarify, I've got this transducer, this Livesight transducer mounted on a pole, not on my trolling motor. But in this particular video, I've just got it angled forward. So I'm trolling around with my XI5. You can see sort of where I am on the map and my speed and that sort of thing. And you can tell when my heading's changing and that sort of thing. So I'm looking around, and the first part of this video, I'm just over an area where there's just a ton of little bait fish. The 2D sonar is almost, overfilled. You can't really differentiate between individual fish a lot of the time, but you can see them on the down scan. There's also some weeds. And so the Livesight, doesn't really pick up these small fish until they're fairly close to the boat, like 20, 30 feet away. But it's still cool. They're coming as you get to them. And I'm just gonna fast forward a little bit here. Sorry, that's reverse. Just fast forward this screen capture video and we're going to get into this area where the bigger walleye are hanging out, and this is where it starts to get really cool. You can see these fish, they show up as little lumps on the bottom initially. So I'm turning the boat and you don't see any fish there. All of a sudden you see the fish. Okay, so now I think what happens here is I realize there's that fish there and I correct the boat, and now I'm driving towards the fish, or the other side of the equation is the fish is swimming towards me. In this case I think it is the former, but this fish comes close to the boat. He's about 20 feet away and then he actually starts moving away from the boat a little bit, and that happens a ton. I'm seeing this behavior very frequently, especially when fish are in kind of a negative mood. They get close to the boat, and in this particular video I'm only in about 17 feet of water, max 15 to 20 kind of thing, and these fish are seeing the boat 20 feet away and avoiding it to some degree. Not terribly on this particular day, actually. The fish were in a pretty good mood, I would describe them as. I'm just going to fast forward here just to give you some more. Okay, here's some more fish coming. And we're picking these fish up, easily 70, 80 feet away. And they show as little spikes on the bottom initially. And then as you get closer, the beam angles allow you to, separate fish from the bottom. So let's just let this play out for a second here. This is a school of fish, and not terribly huge walleye, I don't think. But walleye all the same, and fish that you'd want to put in the boat. Now they're sort of gone from the sonar, and that could be because they're swimming. These fish are in constant motion. That's the other thing that's really apparent when you start using this forward-looking sonar technology. Fish are often moving around, and some of the time it's boat avoidance, some of the time they're just looking for food. Who knows? But anyway, so here's these fish. They're back in the cone again, and they're coming up to the boat. And I think actually these fish actually pass under the boat, and you see those nice Airmar arcs. Lowrance has great 2D when combined with Lowrance or with Airmar transducers in particular. And then you see those fish on the down scan too. Anyway, so we'll just continue on here just to give you a little more taste, especially of this Livesight. So here's a couple more fish. I'm turning the boat, and then you can see there's little indications of fish at about 30 feet here, and then there's another one coming in at about 70 feet. So we're talking, you know, maximum casting distance. You're picking these fish up. They're bottom hugging, you know, for the most part, within maybe a foot of the bottom. And yeah, it's just super cool. Just watching this on forward, some of the fish come through, and then you see them on the 2D sonar as well, and on the down scan. Other times you don't, because they've changed their course, or your boat course isn't perfect to intercept them. But the reality is, you know that they're in the area because you've seen them. You can scan around the boat, you can turn your boat, you can turn the mount if you want, and just know that there's fish in this area, and it dramatically changes how you fish for them.